Have you ever wondered if God is trying to tell you something about your relationships? It's a question that has crossed many of our minds. We'll be tackling this question today, exploring 10 signs that might indicate God is signaling that someone isn't the right fit for you. This isn't about casting judgment, but about recognizing cues for personal and spiritual growth. You see, our relationships play a pivotal role in our lives. They can shape us, mold us, and even change the trajectory of our life's journey. But sometimes we may find ourselves entangled in relationships that don't quite feel right. This is where divine guidance comes into play. Being aware of these signs is not just about avoiding heartbreak or conflict, but it's also about nurturing our spiritual well-being. It's about aligning ourselves with the path that God has laid out for us. Remember, these signs are not for us to judge others, but to guide us in our personal journey. The first sign is constant conflicts. Now, let's be clear. Disagreements are normal in any relationship, but when they become the norm rather than the exception, it's time to take a step back and consider what's really going on. The good book says in Proverbs chapter 15, verse 18, "A hot-tempered person stirs up conflict, but the one who is patient calms a quarrel." Think about it. If you're always at odds with your partner, constantly in a state of turmoil, then it's a good sign that this relationship might not be the right one for you. I remember a time when I was in a similar situation. The arguments were endless and peace seemed like a distant dream. It was only when I decided to walk away that I realized how much of a toll it had taken on me. Remember, peace is a gift from God, and conflict should be the exception, not the rule. The second sign is a persistent lack of peace. If you find yourself in constant discomfort or unease within your relationship, it could be more than just a rough patch. It might be God's gentle nudge saying this isn't the right one for you. Relationships should bring joy and tranquility, not constant turmoil. Remember, inner peace is a divine gift, not a privilege. If it's missing, it's worth paying attention to. Inner peace is a divine gift, and its absence could be a sign. The third sign could be closed doors. Picture this. You're trying to build a relationship, but you're met with constant rejection. Or you've been striving to keep the bond alive, but failures keep cropping up. These closed doors might not be mere coincidences. They could be signals from above, guiding you away from something that's not meant for you. It's a divine redirection, steering you towards a better journey. Remember, closed doors often lead to the right path. The fourth sign is when the person negatively influences you. Now, we're not talking about the occasional bad day or minor disagreement. We're delving into a deeper territory where your partner's influence consistently pulls you away from your positive habits and beliefs. You may find yourself compromising your morals, distorting your values, or even questioning your faith. This could be a subtle process where you hardly notice the changes, or it could be glaringly obvious. Either way, it's a clear sign that something isn't right. You see, a healthy relationship should encourage growth, not stunt it. It should inspire you to be the best version of yourself, not lead you astray. God wants you to flourish, to nurture your spirituality, and to be true to your beliefs. If the person you're with is hindering that, it might be a divine signal to reassess. Your spiritual growth should not be compromised for the sake of a relationship. The fifth sign is an unrest spirit. When you're in a relationship that's right for you, your spirit should feel at peace. But if you're constantly feeling unsettled, something's off. It's like an internal alarm bell, a divine nudge telling you that something needs to change. This discomfort isn't something you should ignore. It's a call to action, a sign that you might need to reconsider your relationship. So listen to that inner voice. Spiritual unrest could be an indication to rethink your relationship. The sixth sign is a lack of love. A relationship without genuine love is like a tree without roots. It cannot thrive. Love is not just a feeling, it's a commitment, a choice to put someone else's needs above your own. If the love in your relationship feels forced or non-existent, it might be God's way of saying this isn't the right path for you. Remember, true love is selfless, patient, and kind. True love is a reflection of God's love for us. The seventh sign could be unanswered prayers. When you pour your heart out, pleading for clarity about a relationship, and the skies above seem to fall silent, this could be an indication. You see, God's silence is not the absence of His presence. It's just His way of communicating that perhaps this isn't the right direction for you. Consider this. When you pray for wisdom about a relationship, and the answer isn't forthcoming, God might be nudging you to take a step back and reassess. He's not ignoring you. He's simply guiding you to a different path, one that you may not have considered. Unanswered prayers are not God's rejection, but His redirection. He's leading you away from what you want and guiding you toward what you need. He's steering you away from temporary happiness and towards eternal joy. Remember, God hears all prayers, but answers in His own time and way. His silence doesn't mean no. It could simply mean, not this way, my child. The eighth sign is a lack of respect. Now, respect isn't just about opening doors and saying please and thank you. It's about valuing someone for who they truly are, their thoughts, their feelings, their experiences. It's about understanding that they are a unique individual with their own life, their own journey. When respect is absent in a relationship, it's like trying to build a house without a foundation. It just won't stand. Every interaction becomes a struggle, every conversation a potential battlefield. You see, disrespect often leads to misunderstanding, to conflict, and eventually to pain. But why is this a sign from God? Well, as we delve into the depths of biblical wisdom, we realize that respect is a divine commandment. Each of you must respect his mother and father. Leviticus 19:3 reminds us. In other words, respect is not just a personal virtue, but a spiritual duty. Respect is a cornerstone of any healthy relationship. The ninth sign is no spiritual growth. Now, this one's important, so lend an ear. When we're in a relationship, it's not just about the laughs, the good times, or even the challenges. It's also about growth, specifically spiritual growth. If you find yourself in a relationship where you're not growing spiritually, where your faith isn't deepening, it might be a sign from above that you're not in the right place. Think about it. A relationship that doesn't foster your spiritual growth can be like a plant without sunlight. It just won't thrive. It's not about having the same beliefs or going to the same place of worship. It's about mutual respect, encouragement, and support in each other's spiritual journey. If you're not experiencing this, it could be a sign that this isn't the relationship God wants for you. Remember, the right relationship will nourish your soul, not starve it. Spiritual growth is vital in every aspect of our lives, including relationships. The 10th and final sign is unhappiness. We often forget this simple truth. Relationships should add joy to our lives, not subtract from it. Unhappiness, when consistent and persistent in a relationship, might be a clear signal from above. It's not about having a perfect, conflict-free relationship. No, that's unrealistic. It's about the overall feeling of satisfaction, peace, and joy that should be more prevalent than the moments of sadness and discord. If your heart is heavy more than it's light, if your smile is forced more than it's genuine, if your tears outnumber your laughter, then perhaps this is God's way of saying this relationship is not meant for you. Remember, God desires our happiness, not just in the heavenly future, but also in our earthly present. He wouldn't want us to be chained to a relationship that drains our joy and peace. Happiness should not be compromised for the sake of a relationship. So, there you have it, 10 signs that God might be signaling that a relationship is not right for you. From the turmoil of constant conflicts to the unsettling feeling of an unrest spirit, these signs may serve as divine hints to reassess the path you're on. The absence of peace, love, respect, and spiritual growth should not be overlooked, as they are integral to a fulfilling and balanced relationship. If you're faced with closed doors or unanswered prayers, consider that perhaps it's not a rejection, but redirection. Negative influences and overall unhappiness can also be indicators that something is not quite right. These signs are not meant to be definitive answers, but rather guides to help you navigate the complex landscape of relationships. In the end, it's all about your personal journey and spiritual growth. Remember, these signs are not definitive answers, but guidance to help you make informed decisions about your relationships. Trust in God's wisdom and timing.